Imagine being so tired you can routinely sleep 19 hours a night, or being in such a sleepy state you unwittingly transfer money out of your bank account. Well, that's the reality for Michelle Chadwick, who lives with a rare neurological sleep disorder that makes her tired all the time. Michelle joins us now from her home in Brisbane. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us on Studio 10. You have what's called idiopathic hypersomnia. Can you tell us how this condition has impacted your life?
Well, idiopathic hypersomnia causes me to need to sleep excessively. And when I'm not sleeping excessively, I feel excessively sleepy. So it's like I can't turn sleep off.
Wow, has this been going on your whole life, Michelle, or did it just creep up on you or happen one day? Tell us how you first kind of noticed it.
The symptoms tended to around my first year at high school. I was about 11, and I noticed that it was becoming increasingly more difficult to wake up in the morning, and that was despite having lots of sleep. So I was always sleepy, always looking for opportunities to take naps. I would fall asleep in the classroom, I would skip class and have naps in the library and sleep for more than enough hours at night, but I was still struggling to wake up in the morning, and struggling to wake up in the morning was way more than what any of my siblings or anyone else that I knew was experiencing. I knew that that wasn't right.
Michelle, was it difficult to get a diagnosis? Because at that age, it might have been excused as something else, something that teenagers cop a lot of the time for not wanting to get out of bed.
Yeah, well, I've since learnt that it's actually quite common for teenagers to struggle to wake up in the morning and to feel tired during the day, because teenagers actually have a delayed circadian rhythm, so they fall asleep later at night and need to wake up later in the morning. But I was having sleep, so I'm sure that my problems were put down to just being a teenager, and maybe because I had the flu or because I was feeling unwell, but it was constant. It never left me. And as I say, I knew, even if others around me thought it was nothing, I knew that this could not be what everybody else was feeling.
And being that tired all the time must have a huge impact on just how you function. What sort of impact has it had on just daily tasks? Are there mistakes that you've made because you were so tired you couldn't do things properly? Has it got you into trouble?
Well, trouble, yes, but you become a master at hiding your mistakes. So there have been times where I've made what would be considered pretty significant mistakes at work, but you just learn to hide them. As I've said to people before, I've signed documents that I probably shouldn't have signed. I've made bank transfers that were incorrect, and just generally making mistakes with things that I've been working on, and then have to frantically trying to correct them before anyone found out about it. So it made work extremely stressful, and it meant that I was spending way more time on things than most people.
Wow.
And Michelle,
Constantly making sure that I wasn't going to make a mistake. I was fixing a mistake that I'd made so that somebody wouldn't find out about it.
Wow.
and Michelle, I'm sure that would only just add to the exhaustion that you're feeling constantly, running through things in your mind. But you're married, you have 2 children. How do you manage home life?
Well, I didn't know that I had a rare neurological sleep-wake disorder when I got married and had children. I knew that what I was feeling wasn't normal, but by that stage I had already been struggling for 20-odd years, and it became just my life. It was just what I was used to. But then when I did have 2 children, I did realise, wow, this was a whole new world of hell. This was something that had to be addressed. I was not going to be able to continue to work and have children and do everything else that is expected of people with what was happening with me. And that's when I really started to go back to doctors and start demanding that they do more tests or help me find a solution or an answer to the problem.
And is there an answer? Is there a treatment? Is there a cure? Are you feeling exhausted right now, just talking to us?
Yeah, it's literally, you don't feel like you can turn sleep off, so you just always feel sleepy. The sleep is really deep, and it can take anywhere from half an hour to an hour or even more to wake up in the morning. And you experience what's called sleep drunkenness. So you wake up feeling disorientated, confused, you can bounce off walls, your speech is slurred, you just are not with it. And that can stay with you all day. That medication doesn't fix sleep drunkenness. It doesn't help you wake up, unfortunately.
Wow.
Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It must be a very debilitating condition, and there is help. You can go to hypersomniaaustralia.org.au and all the information's there. And I guess your advice is to go to your GP and tell them, about this very real condition.
Yes, absolutely. If you are struggling with sleep, really you should go to your GP and speak to them about it. There are a number of sleep disorders that can be addressed, and you can actually go on to live a perfect life. But you do need to speak to your GP about it and get help.
Michelle, thank you so much for your time with us on Studio 10. We wish you all the best.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.